I was still scraping frosting off my hands when Mom raised her glass. "To Sophia," she said, smiling big. "My star, for making this night perfect." Everyone clapped. I didn't. The backyard was full. Lights strung above, rented tables, below. The playlist? I picked every song. The flowers? I arranged them. The cake? I baked it from scratch. Sophia? She showed up late in heels, sinking into the lawn and a glass of wine in her hand, and somehow she got the credit. Again. "You helping out tonight too?" a cousin joked. I swallowed hard, pretended I didn't hear it. But I did. I'm Anna, 38, and they've always seen me as the one who fixes things. That night, I realized I was done. You grow up thinking if you do everything right, people will notice. They don't. Not when you're the one who has it handled. I'm the oldest. Sophia's 3 years younger, prettier, louder, always getting attention without asking for it. Mom has a loud voice and strong opinions. Dad mostly agrees with her. Sophia was the fun one. I was the reliable one, the invisible one. When Sophia turned 30, I was 33. I booked the venue, made custom invites, ordered her favorite, vegan cupcakes. I even made a seating chart so her old friends and new friends wouldn't clash. At the party, Mom hugged her and said, "You always throw the best parties, baby." Sophia posted, "Feeling 30 and fabulous." A stranger handed me his empty glass and asked if I worked there. I smiled, bit the inside of my cheek. I planned. She got the praise. Thanksgiving, I cooked for 20. Turkey, stuffing, 3 kinds of pie. Sophia showed up 2 hours late with a bottle of wine and a new story about her latest brand deal. Mom gasped like she was seeing a celebrity. "You're the life of the party," she said. Later, someone asked me if I was a family friend. I served. They saw her. I worked part-time at the local community center, organizing holiday fairs and teen workshops. It was the only place where people actually said, "Thank you." My coworker Inez once said, "Anna, you're brilliant at this. Ever thought about doing it for real?" I shrugged. Who would hire me? I didn't believe I had anything special, because no one else ever acted like I did. At Mom's book club night, I baked scones, rearranged the living room, even printed discussion prompts. Sophia popped in for 5 minutes, kissed everyone on the cheek, and left. "She's just got that flair," Mom said, smiling. I worked. They adored her. Family reunion? I handled the logistics, made sign-up sheets for food, organized. Parking, even made signs for the trash bins. Sophia brought deviled eggs and got a round of applause. Dad's retirement dinner, I reserved the restaurant, arranged the slideshow, printed old photos. Mom raised a toast to Sophia's energy and spirit. I crafted. They missed me. Every event was another cut. Another reminder that I could build everything and still not be seen. Even the things I used to enjoy, like designing table layouts and picking color palettes, turned into chores. I was creating joy for everyone else. I just wasn't invited to feel it myself. I didn't make an announcement. I didn't storm out. I just stopped. Next birthday? I said I had a work conflict. Thanksgiving? I brought store-bought mashed potatoes and left early. Christmas? I showed up after dessert. Nobody said anything. But I saw the confusion on Mom's face when the table wasn't set. The candles weren't lit. The playlist was random. Sophia tried. She brought a centerpiece made of fake flowers and glitter. One candle caught a napkin on fire. They laughed it off. I stayed quiet. Felt like I was watching a play I used to direct. At Dad's birthday, the food was 2 hours late. Someone forgot the forks, and they sang Happy Birthday off-key twice. Still, no one mentioned my name. I wasn't missed. Not out loud. But Mom asked if I'd seen any good party planners lately. Sophia said she might hire someone for the big events. That stung more than I expected. One day I came home and my neighbor, Mrs. Kalinsky, was sitting on my porch. "I heard you used to plan events," she said. Her granddaughter was getting married and they had no idea where to start. I almost said no. Almost. But something inside me, maybe ego, maybe spite, said yes. Planning for strangers was different. They thanked me. They paid me. The bride cried when she saw the venue decorated. The groom's mother hugged me after the toasts. It felt strange, being seen. For the first time, I used my name on a flyer, Anna Event Design. Inez helped me set up a simple website. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. 2 months later, I got a message from a woman named Carla. She was coordinating a fundraising gala and someone had backed out. They were desperate. It was bigger than anything I'd done. Hundreds of people, major sponsors, photographers. I said yes anyway. I didn't tell my family. The night of the gala, I wore a black dress, soft curls, red lipstick. I stood in the back, watching everything go smoothly. Someone tapped my shoulder. It was Sophia. She blinked. "You're working this event?" I smiled. "No, I ran it." She stared like she couldn't process that, then laughed like it was a joke. "It's nice," she said. "Did Mom help?" I just walked away. Later that night, I got a call from Mom. "Why didn't you tell us you were doing something so big?" I said. "You never asked." She was quiet for a moment, then said, "Well, it looked lovely. Sophia said you looked very professional." It wasn't a compliment. It was a surprise, like I'd been acting out of character. I hung up. That call didn't feel like pride. It felt like surveillance. From then on, I got busy. Weddings, corporate events, an anniversary at a vineyard. I stopped going to family dinners, said I was booked. Mom texted, "It's not the same without you." But she didn't say sorry or thank you. Left her on red. The first event they planned without me was Mother's Day brunch. They rented a hall, ordered food, hired a DJ. Sophia texted, "Hope you can come. We handled it this time." I didn't reply. I showed up late, wearing black. Not out of protest. It was the only thing I had clean. The room smelled like reheated lasagna and cheap perfume. The tablecloths didn't match. The mimosas were warm. Mom kissed me on the cheek. "Glad you could make it," she said, like I was a guest. Sophia looked tired. The DJ played ABBA at full volume. Nobody was dancing. "Where's the playlist?" someone asked. "Did Anna send one?" Sophia rolled her eyes. "We don't need Anna for everything," but she said it too loud, and it got quiet after that. Helped carry trays when no one was looking. Refilled the napkin holders, straightened the flowers. Quiet, automatic, old habits, muscle memory. A week later, I got an email. "Saw your work at the gala. Need help with my baby shower. Budget's tight, but I'll cook the food myself." I said yes. Then 3 more came. Then 6. I stopped counting. Rented a tiny studio space next to a hair salon. It had bad lighting and smelled like hair dye, but it was mine. Inez came over with a folding table and a second-hand espresso machine. We painted one wall sage green and put up string lights. It looked like possibility. I printed a quote on a card and pinned it up. "Create what you never got." Meanwhile, Sophia launched a podcast. Women Who Glow, she called it. She did an episode about boundaries, talked about how she used to take on too much for her family. I laughed out loud. She mentioned a sister once, said I was always so good at organizing, like a machine. Not a compliment, not a thank you. Then came the family wedding, our cousin Nina. Sophia offered to plan it. said she had influence now and connections. I wasn't invited to the planning chat, but one night Nina called me crying. Said nothing was working. No, vendors showed up to the tasting. Sophia forgot the RSVP spreadsheet. I'm not asking you to fix it, she said. I just didn't know who else to call. I paused, then said, come by tomorrow. We'll figure it out. We sat on my studio floor with takeout and a mess of sticky notes. We laughed. A lot. At the wedding, I stayed in the background. Let Nina shine. Sophia stood off to the side in sunglasses, told people she helped coordinate. Nina's mom hugged me and whispered, thank you for saving this. I just smiled. 4th of July came. For the first time in 20 years, I didn't host. No group text, no paper lanterns, no schedule taped to the fridge. They tried to organize it without me. Aunt Clara brought hot dogs but forgot buns. The grill didn't start. Someone spilled soda on the Bluetooth speaker. Photos looked forced. Sophia posted one with the caption, family chaos but full hearts. You could see the smoke in the background. Nobody texted me that day. But the next morning, Mom called. You okay? We missed you yesterday. I didn't say, you missed what? I do, not who I am. I just said, I had plans. The truth? I spent the day at my studio. I was prepping a bridal brunch. Small, clean, candlelit. The bride hugged me after and said, you made it feel like a movie. I stood by the door. After they left, the space still glowing. I'd never felt prouder. Weeks later, Mom invited me for lunch. Just us. She made grilled cheese. Said it was nice to slow down. Then she looked up from her plate. Is something going on between you and Sophia? I nearly laughed. No, just nothing's going on. She nodded, took a bite. Didn't. Push. But before I left, she said, you've always kept things together. I hope you're not keeping it all inside. Too late for that. The cracks were showing, and not just at home. Sophia's podcast lost sponsors. She posted vague quotes about outgrowing people. Her voice started to sound tired, forced. At Thanksgiving, she offered to host. The turkey was dry. She forgot to take the plastic bag out of it. No one said anything, but half the family left early. I stayed quiet, sipping wine. Then Mom turned to me and said, next year, maybe we do it together? You and me? That was new. But I smiled politely. I'll think about it. I already knew the answer. One night in December, I was setting up a corporate winter gala. Mid-tier influencers, big sponsor logos. Not my favorite kind of event, but good money. Then I saw Mom, in the corner, wearing her red coat, holding her purse tight. She wasn't invited. She said she was just curious what I'd been working on. I gave her a tour. She walked slow, touched the fabric on the chairs, smelled the pine centerpieces. This is beautiful, she said. She paused, then added, I don't think I've ever told you that. I nodded, didn't trust myself to speak. Later that night, she posted a photo of me setting candles from behind. Caption, my daughter's events have more heart than any I've ever been to. It got 3 likes. One was from Sophia. January brought the Mayor's Fund Gala. I wasn't just helping, I was head coordinator. My name was on the program. People shook my hand, listened, took notes. One guest said, I can't wait to see what you do next. That night I drove home in silence. No car full of leftovers, no cake trays, just me and a quiet kind of pride. At family dinner, Mom asked how work was. Before I could answer, Sophia jumped in. She's been doing events for the mayor now. You didn't see her on the city page? I raised an eyebrow. Sophia never bragged about me before. In February, I spoke on a local panel, Women in Small Business. I was nervous. But when the lights came up and the mic passed to me, I said, I used to think being invisible was my job. Turns out I was just in the wrong room. The crowd clapped. Someone stood up. When the video hit 10K views, Sophia texted, "You've been holding out on us." I didn't reply. The family group chat had gone quiet. Birthdays used to come with spreadsheets, themes, RSVP deadlines. Now? Just a selfie and happy birthday in a rushed text. I saw it. So did they. Nobody said anything, but the parties felt smaller. Like no one knew how to make them feel big without me. In March, I was hired by a rising indie musician to throw her launch party. She wanted it intimate, aesthetic, and buzzworthy. I rented an art loft, curated a scent for the room, added a photo. Wall with tiny Polaroids of her fans. Her manager cried. "This isn't an event," she said. "It's a feeling." The week after, Mom called. "I told Diane from the club about you. She wants help with her anniversary." Pause. "She asked for you, not Sophia." I almost didn't believe her, but I said yes. And then came the dinner, the one where everything shifted. Mom was hosting a spring soiree for her garden club and invited me to join. I almost said no, but I went, in a dress I picked, hair done, lipstick, confident. I walked in, and no one handed me a tray. No one asked if I was the caterer. They just looked at me. Really looked. A guest said, "So you're the daughter with the event company?" I smiled. "Yes, that's me." I didn't answer the call. It was my mom. She called 3 times in a row. I watched the phone light up on the kitchen counter while I stirred melted wax for a new candle batch. That weekend was supposed to be Dad's birthday barbecue. Every year I made it happen. Shopping lists, drink buckets, veggie options, games for the kids. This year, nothing was planned. I posted a story, just a soft shot of a candle burning on my studio shelf. Background music, peaceful, quiet. 10 minutes later, my sister texted, "Where are you? Did you forget today?" I didn't answer that either. They ended up doing it at the house. Sophia posted a few stories, chaotic grill flames, overcooked burgers, a half-eaten cake from the store. People commented, "Where's Anna? Doesn't look the same." Sophia didn't reply. The next day, Mom left a voicemail. Her voice cracked as she said, "We missed you. Nothing worked like it used to." And then quieter. "I didn't realize how much you did." That's when I cried. Not because she finally noticed, but because I had needed that for years, and it only came when I stopped showing up. A week later, I had my first event job. A woman who followed my candles on Instagram asked if I could help plan her daughter's backyard wedding. She paid in full. Said she'd never seen such thoughtful touches. I didn't wear black. I wore sage green and soft makeup. The couple hugged me at the end. The mother cried and called me magic. That night, Sophia called. I saw the photos. "You're doing events now?" I kept it short. "Yeah, starting to," she said. "That's cool," and hung up fast. No jokes, no digs, just quiet. A few weeks later, I was helping with a small gala at a museum downtown. I was on the guest list, my name printed clearly. I walked past a family friend. She did a double take. "Wait, Anna. I thought you were just behind the scenes." I smiled. Not anymore. I wasn't bitter. I wasn't angry. But I had boundaries now. And a life that didn't depend on being useful to people who didn't see me. They started asking again. "Are you coming to Thanksgiving? Will you help with the holidays this year? We missed your little touches." I sent polite responses. "I'm booked. I'm focused on work." I hope it's a beautiful day, because they only saw my value when I took it away. And now I charge for it. The invitation came in gold foil. It was addressed to me, Just me by name. No +1, no can you help with setup, no scribbled note from Mom asking if I could just bring a side dish. It was a gala, high profile, hosted at the home of a well-known actress, Sophia, and Mom both followed online. The actress had seen my work, said I had taste. I designed every inch of that evening, from the lighting to the scent diffusers at the entrance, from the plated menu to the centerpieces. Even the music flowed exactly how I imagined. Halfway through the night, I heard my name. It was my mom. She walked in with Sophia, invited by someone else. They didn't know I was behind it. I watched them from across the room. Mom looked around, impressed. Sophia smiled wide, snapping selfies. Then someone pointed to me at the edge of the room, clipboard in hand, earpiece in place. They both froze. And that was enough. I didn't go over. I didn't wave. I let them see me. Really see me. Not in my apron. Not holding a dish. Not setting a table for people who'd already decided I was background. I was the architect of the evening. And this time, I didn't need their praise. Because the room applauded anyway. If you've ever been the one doing everything while getting nothing in return, this story is yours too. And maybe it's time you stopped asking to be seen and started choosing where to shine. Follow for more stories like this.